Ed Parkers Kenpo concepts gives us a clear idea of what we're doing and why we're doing it. Path of least resistance gives us a window of opportunity to strike our opponent that gives us the highest probability of success. That could be finding an opening that your opponent cannot block, or purposely complying when your opponent is pulling you in. Hi, my name is Randy, and I'm a 5th degree black belt. I teach Ed Parker's American Kenpo Karate. Here's 5 concepts to help you better understand path of least resistance. The first concept is purposeful compliance, and this concept teaches us to take advantage of our opponent's resistance. If the opponent grabs us, whether they're pulling us in or pushing us away, we go with the grab and we respond with a counter to check the opponent. Another way to practice purposeful compliance is sticky hands. This drill teaches you how to relax and go with your opponent. The way you practice this on the right side is you make contact with your partner's hand, rotate clockwise. While being as relaxed as possible, your partner will push you, and you respond by going with it without losing contact. An example of how you can apply this: if your opponent pushes you, this can help your natural weapon find a new path to its target. The next concept is purposeful defiance. This forces our opponent to react and allows us to use their own reaction against them. We start by purposely resisting our opponent's force. Then when our opponent reacts, like pulling us back, we use that reaction to surprise them with a strike. This can also take away attention from the main strike you're preparing. Remember to purposely defy, then purposely comply. The third concept is tracking, and this involves using the sense of touch as a guide to find its target. Using your or your opponent's body, this is where a natural weapon rides its way to the target. This allows you to hit while looking in a different direction. This can become very useful when there's a second attacker. A non-contact way of tracking is taking advantage of complementary angles. This is where a path creates a clear entry to the target. Taking advantage of these angular opportunities creates a path that's unobstructed. Concept number 4 is guidelining, and this is where a natural weapon follows a wider surface to find its target. This means we're using the opponent's body as a guide to find a target. This can make it very difficult for your opponent to see the strike coming. Guidelining follows a path of action, and that just means following a wider surface like mentioned earlier. One concept to help understand path of action is using the Squeegee Principle. This covers a wider area when blocking or striking, which gives you greater margin for error. For example, that means you can strike with the side of the hand or the side of the forearm. This is important because it allows us to adjust quickly. Following a path of action, remember to use guidelining to make it difficult for your opponent to see the strike coming, and the Squeegee Principle to have greater margin for error. The 5th concept is borrowed force, and this is where we use the opponent's force against them. This can be done by going with your opponent's force or against your opponent's force. The more our opponent pulls us in, the more they're helping us deliver a more effective strike. Or the more the opponent runs into our strike, the more effective it'll be. Notice that this concept has been used with all the concepts explained previously. Ed Parker's concepts and principles not only need to be learned, but practiced as well. And there's a lot of them, and they all have a purpose. Thank you. I appreciate you taking the time to watch the video, and I hope this gives you a better understanding of these 5 concepts.